Hello and welcome to this Tuesday edition of Together We Can, where today I'm going to be talking about why it's so important to translate your website. So we're going to talk about why you need to do it, what languages to choose, and how to implement it properly. And we're going to be talking about that after I just quickly point out that 85% of the viewers of this channel are not currently subscribed, and by subscribing it really helps to pay for some of this equipment and these racing wheels that are so important to me as well. So if you could go ahead, give this video a like and subscribe, that'd be really, really important. And we are going to start giving out prizes to the most engaged users of our Facebook group. You'll find the link in the description below. First prizes will be at the start of June, so it's really, really important to go ahead, get engaged, follow that, and really help. There are some great content on there, not just from me but also from other members. Big shout out to Raj, who has been the most engaged user on that. So let's jump straight into translating your website and why you should do it. Well, translating your website is really important, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm getting back into doing it for our website, togetherwecam.com, in the coming weeks, and we're going to be translating our latest posts into Spanish like we did with some of our other ones, as well as translating into other various languages. And the reason we're doing this is because in December we translated about 80% of our content into Spanish, just due to the fact that some of our visitors, and actually a good percentage of our visitors, were from Latin America and Spain, and we wanted to do a test and see if this really worked, because it's something we had done in the past with other sites and got a good amount of traction, and with this particular industry we wanted to check it out. Now 6 months on, what we found out is that the level of traffic and the impressions on Google search has just gone through the roof from Spanish speaking countries. So now we're going to be bringing this over, and because we've tried and tested it, we wanted to bring that onto you when you're doing your affiliate strategy. So if you haven't started your affiliate strategy already, then maybe head over to togetherwecam.com, check out the affiliate strategy guide in the make money section, and start from there. But if you already have, then let's talk about why it's so important. So first off, why do you need to translate your website? So a lot of you might be saying, well, why do I need to translate my website when Google does this for me automatically already? So what's the point? Well, the simple answer is search results, because the way this works is Google, yes, will in its Chrome browser automatically translate your website for you, but the way they show their results is based on the input from the user. So if the user searches for a search term that you're already targeting in English, then obviously you may show up ahead of your competitors if you've done your job right. However, if someone searches for that same search term but in their own language, what's going to happen is Google is first going to parse all of its different results and look for the result in that language. And then if it can't find a result in that language, it will fall back to the English alternative and offer up a translation, which means that you will show up then. However, for example, if you're targeting the same keyword as I am in English and someone searches for it in Spanish and I have that Spanish translation, then I'm going to show up miles ahead of you, which is why this is so important. So basically, you're going to get first dibs on that language's result. So then it comes to the next question of which languages should you trial or start with at the very least, because what you're going to find out in the last part of this, which is how to translate, it's not as easy as just turning a plug-in on and go from there. There is a little bit more to it than that. So which languages should you choose? Well, that kind of comes down to whether you've been running already or whether you're just starting out. So if you've been running already and you've taken the advice from this blog or this YouTube channel and you've embedded Google results, or Google Analytics, should I say, then what you're going to want to do is head into your analytics, change the date range to the last 6 months, go into demographics and check out the geolocation. So check out the regions. What you can find from this is where are the top people coming from, and if you can, figure out where the top spenders are coming from, for example, as well. So in that demographics, you'll get all of those audience strategies. If you're doing e-commerce, you're going to be able to pull those things up. If you're doing conversions, to, for example, Bonga Cash, Chaturbate, etc., you can actually go into, for example, Bonga Cash and figure out where the highest spending countries are coming from. Same with Live Jasmine. You can also do it on Chaturbate, but it's a little bit more difficult. And if you really, really want that information, best bet is contact their support. They will be helpful and give it to you. They won't be quick in responding, but they will respond. So if you have that data, then you can check that out and figure it out. Now, one of the things to be very, very careful with is to make sure you cross-reference that data with highest spending countries like I've just talked about. Because, for example, you may find that you're getting thousands of hits a month from India, but the problem is if you were to translate into Hindi, for example, it's probably not going to help because, one, a lot of people in India will search in English. They do speak English quite well in that country, being an ex-British colony. But also, the problem is the spending power per person in India is remarkably low, specifically for this. So you may be getting a lot of free traffic, but converting those into paid might not work. Whereas if you're getting a lot of traffic from Japan, as I've spoken about in a recent video, you will find that they're quite high spending, and that could be the perfect for you to focus. If you have not started and you're just starting out, then the best bet is to check your competitors and see what their traffic looks like. If you go to the link in the description below, you'll see the 7-day SEMrush free trial, and you can use that, basically sign up, search your competitor's website, and it will give you all of the data you need to figure out where their traffic is coming from, which countries it's coming from, and get ahead of them off the mark by translating to that language. So that moves me on to how to do this. So a lot of people and a lot of sites, and your competitors specifically, you'll find just use something simple, like if they're using WordPress, they'll use the Wpml plugin. But this does the exact same thing that Google does, which is just translates automatically and on the fly. Now, some of these plugins will cache a translated version, but they're not going to keep it as a separate post. Now, that is very, very important because when Google indexes your website, if they don't find a separate post in that separate language, they're going to just index it in English and then serve up the automatic translation, and you're back to square one. This isn't going to get you any sort of preference when it comes to Google searches. Therefore, it's really, really important to actually go and create a separate version of that article in the translation that you need. So how do you do this? Well, if you're using Shopify or if you're using, say, Squarespace or anything else, put me a link in the description below and I'll help you with that. But for this video, I'm going to focus on WordPress because 80% of the sites in this industry that we found tend to be WordPress builds. So what you're going to want to do is go into WordPress, head over to plugins, and basically download a plugin called Polylang. Now, what Polylang is going to allow you to do is create a second version of that article in that new language with SEO, tags, and headings, and everything else, which Google will then translate into a search result in that language and serve up natively ahead of your competition. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's all well and good, Jay, but I don't speak Spanish, for example. Well, I do, but that's not how I translated it. What I did was I just went, copy and pasted my articles, put them into Google Translate, and copied and pasted them back in. Simple as that. Seems easy, seems straightforward. The thing you're probably thinking is if you are a native speaker of that language, it would be better, obviously, to translate it natively, but who has the time? And you're probably thinking, well, this is going to affect me massively. It's really not, because Google's algorithm is checking translation and wording based on their own translate algorithm, which you're going to use by using, you've guessed it, Google Translate. So as much as the native speaker might not think it's perfect, they're probably going to get the information they need. It's going to be as good as a competitor's direct translation anyway, using automatic translation. So the quickest way is just copy and paste your content, put it through Google Translate, and bring it over. Everything is going to work just as well as your competitor who's auto-translating. The difference is you're going to show up ahead of them in the Google search results. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe, and I'll be doing videos every Tuesday and Thursday on this channel where you can learn how to create your adult affiliate income. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you Thursday.